Not do that. What's the matter? You see a duck? You see the duck? Where's the duck? You see him? Yep. Yeah, I don't talk much in real life. Find no reason for it. 20 people. Wow. Just sitting out here on a stormy day. You got your duck? Don't know what that means. Hello. What? I'm not going nowhere. Bye. Thanks. Later. I was telling somebody bye that was trolling, so go. Cool, thanks. Thanks for the sub. Why you got to put it all the way over there? Then I can't reach it. Ugh. Are you going to bring it here? Hey, are you going to bring me the duck? Are you going to bring it here? You got to bring it up here. Come on. No, I can't reach it all the way over there. Come here. Bring it here. I'm just going to stare at it until you get up and go get it. It only works if you bring it. It only works if you bring it to me all the way. Hey, you gonna bring it here? Well, are you? Come on. You see him? Well, you gotta get your foot off of it first. Are you gonna bring it here? Hey, why you turn your back to me? You scared? Get it. Get him, Bruno. You see him? Wait for it to stop. You see him? That's what I think. I don't like cats though. I want somebody that'll protect my family if I need him to, and this dog will do it. Hey, Bruno, you see him? Hey, you see him? There he goes. I think he's a part horse. Yeah, the only thing is I don't do well with guns. The minute I get one, I'm trying to find somebody else that'll buy it off of me to make a little bit of profit. Because I'm afraid that I'll use it too quickly and end up getting in trouble for it. And I don't want that. Because in my state, if your dog bites an intruder, they don't do nothing to your dog. They just say, he was doing what he was supposed to do. Somebody broke into the house and he bit him. Perfect. You're good to go. And I'm like, that works. Yesterday was his birthday. He's now 5 in human years, 35 in dog years. Okay. Opinion. Personally, I don't like Fords. Every Ford I've ever owned is broken in one way or another. I just don't like them. They don't last for me. I can beat the shit out of a Chevy all day long and it still run the next day. Fords, you call it a bad name and it breaks down. But like I tell everybody, around here, the weather change is mainly the reason why Fords don't last long. Because everybody I know literally has Fords parked in their driveways and are driving some sort of GM. No problem. I'm one of those type of people that if I got a Ford, I'd definitely put a Chevy engine in it. Nah, I'm 6'4", so nothing small works for me at all. I used to have an 2002 Blazer Extreme. I barely fit in the thing. If you go back and look at my videos, you can see me trying to fit into a new Honda. I don't fit. I can't drive one because my head hits the roof. I got a 2001 Silverado with the 5.3 LS and a 4L60E. Seems to do fine. Just an old work truck. Yeah, it doesn't work when you get larger than majority of people, because around here everybody's like, dude, my buddy's really tall. Well, really, how tall is he? He's like 6 foot. I'm like, I was 6 foot at 12. They're like, what? I'm like, yeah. Everybody looks at me like I'm some sort of giant around here, because I think the average is 5'7" to 5'10". Oh, I don't. The Tritons, I've probably worked on, I'd say at least 1,500 of them. Literally every time you turn around, like every 6 months, you got to replace the alternator because the alternator spins at different intervals and ends up burning up. I have no understanding of why that is, but we got my 5.3, and then uh, they've got my roommates have got a 5.7 Hemi in a Dodge pickup, and my little 5.3 will leave them standing still. Yeah, when the phasers go out and cams start fucking messing up on them, I don't even bother. I tell them get something else or replace the engine because it's just going to happen again later on down the road. Yeah, that's the reason why they did it, is so they could mark the price up. They hyped it up so they could mark the price up and get you to buy them. But just like the 318 and old vans and stuff, they're a pooch. I mean, I've seen 305s outrun them. It's just an overgrown, overweighted piece of metal. Now, if you get one with a supercharger and all that stuff on it, then yeah. But if you put a supercharger on a 5.3, it'll still beat that Hellcat. And if you ever get a hold of a 6.0 or a 6.2 and put a supercharger on it, ain't nobody in your town going to touch it. I don't care what you put it in. I had a 318 Interceptor in a Dodge, a 1980 Dodge Diplomat that was a old cop car. That was a pretty good one, but out of probably 15 to 16 different ones, 318s I've owned, it's the only one that did. It's just like everybody says, oh, well, the new Ford Mustang, the GTD, beat the Corvette. I'm like, yeah, it beat the Corvette, not the ZR1 and not the ZR1X. And that's supposed to be the top of the line Mustang. I said, put it up against a the X, and it won't fucking handle it. Especially if they put downpipes and a tune on it. That's pushing over 1,000 horse. You can't catch it with that GD. Coyotes they're pretty good when you put them in a truck with all-wheel drive. Because if you use a Coyote and try to boost it or anything and put it like in a Fox body, they blow up. The rods can't handle that much boost. I know there's a lot of people out there doing it, but I guarantee you they're telling you that they're running the same Coyote and they probably went through 12 of them. Are you done? Well, they do as long as they're naturally aspirated. But if you apply any kind of boost to them whatsoever, the rods can't handle it. The rods aren't built strong enough to hold that much boost. Because if you can go on to YouTube here and look at Cletus McFarland, he has McFlurry, which is an old Fox body that they put a Coyote motor in. They got twin turbos on it. I think he was pushing like 20 pounds and blew the engine up. It was like, that's only 20 pounds. You can do that with a stock 5.3, and that thing's supposed to have forged internal rods. I says, if their rods are so much more expensive, their engine's so much more expensive, then why is it breaking under 10 pounds of boost? It's a good thing about Chevys. Even the 4.8, you can put 20 pounds of boost to a stock one and still run it. I mean, you're running it hard, like consistently drag racing with it and everything, then yeah, you're going to have issues, but that's after probably what, 7, 8 runs? But if you're just driving it around town like you do normal vehicles and stuff, it'll last forever. Yeah. I think the last one I seen was made by Texas Speed. They wanted $65,000 for it, and it was naturally aspirated. And it literally says on the thing, not recommended for boost. They're like, oh well, that's just because of the way it's built. You can't build it any other way. They only have select parts for that thing, unlike the LS, which literally has like 1,500 different cranks to choose from. I just think that if Ford would have done more interchangeable parts for their engines and transmissions and all that, they would have went a lot further in the racing industry. But they didn't, and they wouldn't allow people to make knockoffs or do their own little specs to a cam or anything, just a select few people. And it's like, why? And they're like, well, it's good the way it is. Yeah, but when you buy one for $65,000 and it's only got 600 horse, you can go down to the street and buy an old U-Haul van, the 2500 U-Haul van. Well, it's got a 6.0 in it, and it's got fucking 600 horse. It's a damn van. Never did understand people like that. Well, that's just it. Just like Dodge, they'll hype it up. It's the next best thing. It's like a Godzilla motor. You shouldn't even classify that as a Godzilla motor because I guarantee you there's nothing that's ever dropped off of Ford's assembly line that'll beat a fucking GTR. The actual Godzilla. I've always liked Chevy, BOP, all that stuff. Anything General Motors, even the ones that we don't get, like the Opala, stuff like that. I just like the way the cars even look. I mean, Ford's just too plain for me. It's too boxy, too square. Dodge is just a hunk of metal fucking rolling down the street. It's like I think they said the Hellcats, like the two-door versions of the Hellcats, are I think almost 5,000 pounds. And it's like, why in the world are you driving a huge ass brick? My buddy was decided one time. He's like, hey, I'm gonna take a Hellcat and put it in a Dodge Dakota. That lasted about 2 weeks, couple of rips down the street, and ended up tearing the whole rear end out from the frame. And he has to go find a different Dakota to put it all back in. And I told him, I said, it's not even worth that. I said, because you're just going to do it again. The minute you do a launch, you're going to rip it right out of the frame again. I said, those trucks aren't made for stuff like that. He's like, well, S10s aren't made for V8s, but people do it. I says, they actually make an S10 with a V8. It's a rare truck, but they actually made one. That's the reason why everybody started doing that on the square body like the 85 S10, because everybody already heard when 82 came out, they made a Pacific one for testing with a 305 in it. And that's just the base 305 base motor, and it was pretty fucking quick. The only issue with that is it's so damn light that you can't take corners with it. You just slide out from underneath yourself. Yeah, but it'd be hard to put a Ranger frame underneath an S10. And I know a couple of Rangers right now with the leaf spring pushed up through the bed of the truck because it broke off the side of the frame. And I'm in Arkansas, which you don't see rust on cars here. I mean, I've literally worked on a car that sat since the 1960s and it was the 1940s. Bolts come right out. Nothing was rusted to where it wouldn't come out or nothing like that. Just a little lube and power tool and zip it right out. Hey, look at this crazy dog. You do realize the ground is wet over there, right? You know that, right? It rained. Remember? Uh-oh. Your friends are here. Go say hi. You're not going to go say hi to your friends? No? He turned 5 yesterday. Whoosh. Uh-oh. Here's the fun police. They're going to bark at you now that you're playing. Probably can't see those ones over there that well, but neighbor dogs, every time he plays, they come outside to yell at him. They're old dogs. Yeah, I bet. I had a buddy of mine had a Dodge van that he got donated to him. We were driving it one day, and all of a sudden he just disappeared. I was like, "What the?" I realized he fell through the floor because I guess it sat in somebody's yard, and there was water underneath it, and ended up rusting the floor out. I was like, "What the hell?" All I could looked over, and I seen a hole in his knees to his legs. That was it. And first thing to rust out there is brake lines, which is not a good thing with the way people drive around Indiana, especially around Indianapolis. Oh, 2 weeks after that, he had literally called the wrecking company and had them come get it for $100. Why do you just want me to get up and come out here? It's just crazy. 19. Oh, what does it say? I drive a 1955 Ford pickup with a 350 Chevy in it, turbo 350, 9-inch Ford. Would rather have one with a 454 that I could make look like a rat rod. Slam it to the ground, put some big old wide meats on it, tub it a little bit, mini tub. I don't get along with Ford engines. Every single one I've ever owned myself, I've literally blew up, and I wasn't doing nothing. I was just driving. Hell, one of them was a 300. I literally went inside. I started it up in the morning, went inside to get my coat because it was cold out, walked back outside, and it wasn't running. I went to try to start it, and it was like clock, 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 clock. I was like, what? Looked, it had a big ass crank hole through the block. I'm like, I didn't do anything but start it. What happened? So after that, it was like, I don't really want a Ford motor. Hold on, you might not see me for a minute. Picking everything up. Come on. He's going to make me chase him just to get him in the house. So he's hovering over his duck. I'm going to get that 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 duck. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Yes, let's go. Uh, I've blown up two of them. I blew one up in a 1980 Ford F100 Ranger, and blew one up in, what was that one? It was like a truck motor in a Maverick, I think it was. The one that I went outside to start was in the 80 Ford pickup. If it gets starved for oil, it'll blow out the bottom end. And I guess it sucked up a sock or something, some sort of debris. It sucked it up in the pump and wouldn't allow it to pump anymore. 5 minutes later, boom.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get a few kills.
Huh.
Few kills here in the window.
Well, that's just it. Indiana, everything's colder there than it is in Arkansas. And in Arkansas, when stuff gets above 85, 90 degrees, it doesn't act right, especially with Fords.
Man, you wanna move around, but I know where they're at. It's fucking cold. My friend James Ryan, yeah, I'm gonna fuck with him.
But I know a guy right now that's trying to get me to rebuild his 7.3 because it has no oil pressure.
Come on, man. Why don't you
I told him, I said, I'll start it and show it to you. I said, I wouldn't start it I said, ain't got no oil pressure. It only take one rotation with no oil in that crank to tear it up. I says, and then you might as well buy a whole brand new engine because that one ain't going to be no good. You're going to have to replace the crank and all the connecting rods and all that crap. It ain't worth it. By the time you're done, you could have went to the salvage yard and bought one. No, the ones that you can't blow up for straight 6 Ys, no matter what you do to them, is a 256 cylinder out of the Chevys. I had one an old 79 C10. We ran it out of oil and drove it 20 miles, and it still, the next day, put oil in it, ran fine. It'd pull a damn treehouse down, but didn't have no long legs. It just grunted and would take off.
Run your mouth.